Girls should be more scared of being poor than being unmarried. In society, girls are taught to fear being unmarried, but nobody teaches them to fear being broke. Society acts like a woman with no husband is a tragedy, but a woman with no money, no skills, no freedom, apparently that's acceptable. Girls are taught that with time, with age, your beauty will fade, who will marry you, you will end up alone. But they never warn them about depending on someone else for every basic need. Never warn them about what it feels like to stay in a toxic situation just because she cannot afford to leave. Never warn them about sacrificing their dreams just to survive. Marriage is not security anymore. Money is, skills are, education is, your own identity is. Because being unmarried is not suffering, being trapped is. A ring on your finger means nothing if you have no power over your own life. So yes, girls should be more scared of being poor than being unmarried. Because poverty steals choices, and without choices, freedom is just an illusion. And the harshest part is that most girls are raised to prepare for a wedding more than they are raised to prepare for survival. From childhood, girls are taught to be pretty, to be chosen, to be polite, to be likable, don't have too much attitude. But nobody says learn how money works, build something for yourself, know how to survive without depending on anyone. A girl can cook 10 dishes but still not know how to open a bank account. And then the society wonders why so many women stay stuck. And the most terrifying thing that can happen in a woman's life is not being single at 30, but not having your own income at 30. Because when you have no money, people control you. They control your decisions, your future, your timing, everything. People romanticize dependence when it comes to women. They call it femininity, tradition, softness, but dependence is dangerous when the wrong person holds power over your life. Because love changes when survival enters the room. A woman who cannot leave is not secure, she is trapped. And that is why so many women tolerate disrespect for years, not because they are weak, but because they are financially cornered. People say, why didn't she just leave? Leave and go where? With what money? With what opportunities? With what support? Nobody talks about how expensive freedom is. And let's be honest, society still praises more women for getting married than becoming successful. A girl becomes a CEO, but people ask, is she married? A girl buys her own house, and people are like, but who's her husband? A girl travels the whole world alone, but people are like, oh, so sad, she cannot settle down. Meanwhile, a woman can be deeply unhappy in her marriage and still receive more social respect than a happy single woman. Girls are conditioned to think marriage is the ultimate achievement, as if their entire existence becomes valid when someone chooses them. But what about choosing yourself? What about building a life so stable that love becomes a choice, not a necessity for survival? Because the goal should never be find someone to save me. The goal should be I can save myself, and now I choose who deserve to stand beside me. And no, this is not anti-marriage. Love is beautiful. Healthy relationships are beautiful. But marriage should not be a rescue plan. Always remember that being alone will never destroy a woman as fast as financial helplessness will. So no, girls should not be terrified of being unmarried. They should be terrified of having no options. No income, no identity outside a relationship. No ability to walk away when life becomes unbearable. Because when a woman has money, confidence, skills, freedom, marriage becomes a choice, not a survival strategy. And every girl deserves a life built on choices, not desperation.